Good afternoon. Welcome to Motivational Monday with Brittney Watson, where I provide motivation, inspiration, and encouragement for your everyday life. So what I want to do is start off by telling you a little bit about me. My name is Brittney Watson, and I am 30 years old. I am married without any children. I recently relocated to Houston, Texas from Dallas, Texas. And with that relocation has come a major shift in my life, a major change. And I definitely give God all the glory. Something amazing happened when I got out of my comfort zone and left my hometown of Dallas, Texas, and moved to Houston. Being uncomfortable, trying something new is the best thing that you can do because it allows you to grow. And it's been just a wonderful experience. Since we moved here last summer. One of the things that changed in my life is my career. I have been in the call center environment for 10 years. I had worked my way up to management, and so I had been a manager in call centers for the past 7 years. And so when my husband and I decided to relocate to Houston, of course I started looking for management call center jobs. And right in the nick of time, right before we moved, I had accepted a position with a small startup company here in Houston. Well, a few months after working there, I quickly realized that my boss was not a very good boss. She was a tyrant and somewhat of a bully. She would curse employees out on the floor in front of other employees. She would just behave badly. She did everything that I had learned not to do from my previous jobs and even from my school education experience at UTA. She was the epitome of unprofessional behavior. And so because of her attitude, I decided that this is not the environment that I want to be in. And I chose to remove myself from that place. And I had a plan to become a licensed insurance agent with Allstate. And so I started that plan quickly after resigning my position there. And it wasn't too far after that I became a little sad, a little, depressed somewhat because, of course, this is a completely different environment. I went from managing a team of 15, sometimes 20 people to just being myself and my agency owner in the office. And so it was an environmental shift. It was different for me. And so with insurance, it is a lot is based on commission and on sales. Well, getting started, there wasn't a lot there. And so there was a different, of course, and from an income standpoint. And so I was sad. One morning I decided to go for a jog because I've become an avid runner in my adult life, which is funny. But I went for a jog one morning and my life was changed that morning. The jog started out with me being sad, thinking about all of the goals I hadn't accomplished that I had set back in high school. I was thinking about all of my failures. I thought about all of my shortcomings. I thought about all of the talents that I don't have. I thought of all of the things I couldn't do. All of those things, those negative things, I was thinking on them and dwelling on them. And really, really got down on myself. Well, thank God that He touched me and touched my life because I then started to think a little different. And I actually asked myself the question. I said, Brittney, what do you want to be when you grow up? And when I asked myself that question, I took a minute to breathe in and breathe out. I did not think about my current situation, where my husband and I were currently living, what our bank account currently looked like. I didn't think about my failures. I just took the time to think about myself, my passions, my desires. And again, I asked myself what I wanted to be when I grew up. And that's a funny question because here I am almost 30 saying, what do I want to be when I grow up? Well, am I grown? Well, that's the thing. It's all about your mindset. If you think that you're grown, you think that you arrived and that you made it. Realizing that you're not grown helps you understand that you have more growing, you have more learning to do. And so I allowed myself to go back in my mind to when I was 17 and 18 years old in high school. And I asked myself what I wanted to be when I grew up. And I closed my eyes and I made that list. And I said I wanted to have my own business. I wanted to help start a nonprofit. I wanted to be a published author. I might even want to pursue some political aspirations. I want to do some type of family and marriage counseling of some sort. I opened my eyes and I went item by item on the list that I just created. So when it comes to starting my own business, I've already done that. I started Brittney Watson's Career Counseling Services, where I provide interview prep, resume writing, and job search assistance. Check that off the list is what I was able to do. And then as far as help starting my own nonprofit, well, I actually helped start that back in January of 2013. I teamed up with Jelena Batts and Rachel Reed, two lovely young ladies who shared a similar passion, and we created Changing Lanes, and we have helped hundreds of young ladies go to prom and have a great experience because we've had several successful prom dress drives, giveaways, and we most recently had the ultimate prom shopping experience with 4 very deserving high school seniors. And so I realized that I had already done 2 of those 5 things that I had put on my list. And I knew that if I wanted to start another business, I could, because I started the first one. If I wanted to start another nonprofit, I could, because I started the first one. And so I went to the next item, which was become a published author. Well, the first step in becoming a published author is 1, starting to write, 2, contacting another published author. And so I put a plan in place to become a published author. The next thing is political aspirations. I created a plan for me to run for city mayor one day if I so decided to do so. I had created a platform for and everything. And I realized that I no longer had to be sad and depressed about not accomplishing my childhood dream of becoming the first Black female president of the United States. So it won't be me who sets that record and breaks that barrier. But if I wanted to pursue political aspirations, I could still do that. And I created the plan to help me do that. And lastly, it was the family and marriage counseling. I looked into degree programs. I found a really good one back in Dallas, Texas, my hometown. And so just in a matter of minutes, I went from sad and no hope, failure with no talents, no skills, to a young lady who had already accomplished 2 out of the 5 lifelong goals that I had set for myself. And I created a realistic plan of action for the other 3 goals. And so that was just amazing for me. My mind was literally blown at that moment. And I realized that my whole life, my whole outlook had changed. And if I, Brittney Watson, had felt sad and depressed and uncertain about my future and uncertain about my career path, if I have felt that way after 10 years of experience in a call center environment, 7 years of management experience, a bachelor's degree in business management from UTA, graduating number 8 in my class in high school, if I had felt like that, surely I know that there are other people that have felt that way as well. There may be someone out there who has kids, who's a single parent, who's struggling to get by on a day-to-day. You may feel like there is no hope. You may feel like you don't have a future. You may feel like you can't achieve those goals and those dreams that you set back when you were a child. I'm here to tell you that you can do those things. Right now, I challenge you to close your eyes and to ask yourself the question, what do I want to be when I grow up? Once you do that, write down everything that comes to your mind. Everything, every dream, everything that you can possibly think of. and then go back and create a plan to make each of those dreams happen. Now, if you're unsure of where to start, where to begin, please give me a call. Please email me. Please inbox me on Facebook. I will be more than happy to help you and to guide you through on your startup plan to achieve those dreams. Thank you so much for listening. I hope I inspired and motivated somebody. Remember, always be kind and always be humble in this thing called life. Thank you, and see you next time.